Remarried?
Divorced, yeah, so I went back.
I'd like to call the September 11th, 2024 Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting to order. If you're able, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May we have the roll call, please?
Chair Alsted,
Here.
Commissioner Petty,
Here?
Commissioner Fikes, here, Commissioner Ersley,
Present.
Vice Chair Costin,
Here.
Commissioner Woodard, here, Commissioner Tweet,
Here.
you have a quorum.
Do you have a motion to approve the agenda and consent agenda as presented? Mr. Fikes? We have a second?
Second.
All right. Would the clerk please read the consent agenda items into the record?
You have approval of minutes, regular meeting of August 14th, 2024, and new business action approval requesting an excused absence for the August 14th, 2024 regular meeting from Commissioner Petty, and action approval recommending approval of lease of airport reserve lands for the property described as Lot 4, Block 1 FBO subdivision, and that is your consent agenda.
Are there any public comments on any of the consent agenda items just read by the clerk? Or anyone online? Seeing none. Are there any revisions to the agenda? Seeing none. Are there any objections or approving the agenda, consent agenda? Hearing no objections, the agenda and consent agenda are approved. Scheduled public comment, we have none. Unscheduled public comment. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak to anything that is not on the agenda? Seeing none. We have consideration of plats, resolution PZ 2024-20, recommending approval on preliminary plat, Highland subdivision, Evans replat, for a replat of lots 2 and 3, block 1 of the Highland subdivision located in the rural residential zoning district. Do you have a motion? Mr. Fikes, do you have a second?
Wait, second.
Oh, gotcha. Director McElra, can we have the,
McElroy.
what's that?
McElroy.
McElroy, excuse me, sir. Can I have your staff report, please?
Thank you, Commissioner Halstead. Commissioners, this is a preliminary plat to replat lots 2 and 3, Block 1 of the Highland subdivision into a single lot. The lots are currently vacant except for a driveway, well, and septic. The surrounding area is entirely rural residential with a mix of vacant lots, single-family homes, and the Highland Pride Mobile Home Park to the east. When reviewing preliminary plats, there are certain standards that must be met. The first of these standards is subdivision design standards rather. This includes lot arrangement, easements, and dedicated access. Since the original subdivision was platted many years ago, these have all been taken into account and the standards have been met. The second of these standards is minimum improvements required. This covers the availability of public utilities, including water and sewer and proper road design. Again, this is an established subdivision, so roads have been built to city standards and gas and electric are available. City sewer and water services are not available in this area, but as mentioned before, there is a private well and septic on site, which are subject to the regulatory requirements of the Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation. The septic plans are actually already on DEC's website, and the well was on a site visit, looked like it had just been punched in, so it'll probably be up there soon. The third standard addresses minimum lot area requirements. The minimum lot size for the rural residential zoning district is 20,000 square feet. If approved, the total area of the combined parcels will be approximately 40,000 square feet, exceeding requirements for rural residential. The last standard is general requirements dealing with lot coverage, setbacks, and building height, which will all be reviewed during the building permitting process. This said, staff recommends Commission adopt this resolution approving the Highland subdivision Evans replat for the replat of lots 2 and 3, Block 1 of the Highland subdivision. If you have any questions, I can answer. feel free, and this concludes staff's report. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Director McElroy. I don't see anyone for public comment, so we will bring it back to the commission. Discussion from the commission? Seems pretty straightforward. We'll go ahead and go straight into a vote, unless anyone wants to go for.
I would like
unanimous
to ask for unanimous consent, please.
consent. All right, any objections? Seeing none? Good to go. All right, no public hearings, no unfinished business, new business was taken care of by the consent. You should put a note on there, like, please stop reading this out loud. All right, we're going into reports. Planning Director McElroy, may we have your report, please?
Well, Max left last week. I'm the acting director for the time being. We do have a new director coming from the east, who will be here on or around the 21st of October. So looking forward to that.
Excellent.
Like the east, like Valdez, or are we talking?
No, like West Virginia.
Okay, oh, wow. We get to make fun of his voice.
Everywhere is east.
Her
of here.
voice, whatever it. Exactly.
As a commission chair providing a report, I do know, actually, I just found out that we had, what do they call it, challenging our ruling on our last meeting,
Oh, yes, Board of Adjustments.
Board of Adjustments. So the denial of the facility, the marijuana facility, that we voted on last meeting, they're going to challenge it, so should be fun. That's the only thing I really have to report as far as anything else. We're going to Kenai Borough Planning. Commissioner Fikes, may I have your report, please?
Alrighty, we had a hot and heavy one. We were there till midnight. We had everybody's favorite, you guessed it, not in my backyard with that gravel pit. And so boy, we didn't have a complete packet, so Planning Department decided early on that they were going to allow testimony, knowing that it wasn't a complete packet minus an engineering report, but it was still meeting the obligations of public notice. So kudos to the borough for letting everybody who showed up testify, but how unfortunate that it was incomplete. So therefore, we have to meet again on it. But what they were looking at doing was over off of Shahansky, just down from Davis Block there, kind of on that corner with, drawing a blank, Pelican? The four-way stop sign, if you've been down to Shahansky before you make a 90-degree left, there's a ginormous field that's empty, and they want to start tapping into it and mining and ripping and pulling, and by golly, they want to get into the water table, and not just a foot, not 2 feet, but full 18 feet, and you know what, if your well is anywhere near there, well, that's just too bad. So that was why we got to hear from everybody, and why I humbly thought it was a horrible idea. But anywho, they decided to postpone it, so we get to hear it again in October. And unfortunately, those residential folks have to go out and probably end up getting an engineering report and some other studies so that they can come back to the table and present it to the commission as to why it's such a bad idea. It's just sad that they have to go through that, because apparently the testimony I heard was from some very knowledgeable folks that actually happen to live in the area. And so that some of those folks actually happen to be water people, engineering people. So it's just a unique situation to have an incomplete packet, but to get some robust discussion from some actual individuals in that field, so. After we got on with that, we did some plat reviews. We had 5 that were approved administratively. We reviewed 2 and we passed those. And then we had another gravel pit, because they're so much fun. And this one was in the Moose Pass area. And there was some confusion on it, because what it is in the Moose Pass area is it's a combination of the road work, but it's also a combination of the QAP has a area in the Moose Pass area for processing and asphalting. So the folks that testified were getting impacted by one part of it, which was DOT, but not necessarily the CUP that was before us by QAP. So Quality Asphalt and Paving was asking for a conditional use permit to expand on their already annoying processes and whatnot. But all the complaints weren't necessarily falling on their shoulders, so they had fines and stuff for things that they were doing inappropriately, so. In a nutshell, they're almost at the end. They were asking for a time extension to do what they needed to do to continue it through till October. So the commission felt that it was reasonable request of time to bring everybody's misery to an end. So they went ahead and approved that one. And then we had a street naming in the Fox River community, and that one was approved to be changed to Heartland. And that was the end of our deal. We all got to go home.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner Fikes. Councilmember Douthit, may we have your report, please?
Sure. So last meeting, as far as new business goes, accepted some appropriations for the Meals on Wheels through a grant with DoorDash. So DoorDash is going to be helping the senior center deliver some meals. So that's kind of cool. It's a new program where they're trying out. And then increasing estimate revenues appropriations to general fund for land purchase surveys. So this is gravel pits, possibilities. Some land over off Beaver Loop that already is city-owned land and a great big parcel on the backside of some already existing gravel pits that has been already test hole checked to see if it would be feasible for gravel pit expansion, but this is some survey funds to actually survey parts of it off, because it's all the way into some wetlands, but there's a large lower portion that is usable for further expansion of the gravel pits, and they've showed interest in. But before we can put it out for possible land sale and utilizing it into gravel pit, we have to subdivide it off and get rid of the wetlands portion, but it's all one giant parcel right now. So they're subdividing off, I think, 4 different parcels that could be later added in, and they're long ways from any residential, and they're already bordering other existing gravel pits that are showing interest in it. So I think it'll be a good idea for the city to possibly move forward and be able to get some funds and open up some gravel that shouldn't annoy anybody, but it's already a gravel pit. So that's what those appropriations are for. What else? The joint resolution was adopted supporting what the Kenai Peninsula Economic Development District's request to the Board of Sportfish Board for their Upper Cook Inlet Finfish meeting to be held in Soldotna. They're putting a big proposal this year for this year's Finfish meeting for Board of Fish to be moved from Anchorage to Kenai finally. They're putting a great big push for it. They've got pretty much every community on the Kenai Peninsula in support of it, and other different entities that are all stakeholders in it, writing letters of support, Chamber of Commerce, all those kind of things. And then we'll see what happens. They haven't done it in 20, 30 years almost, and it's about time that it come down here and be done down here, but hopefully they'll listen and actually do it. So I'm a big proponent for that. We've been asking for it for years. But and then we entered into an agreement with the Kenaitze Indian Tribe for projects to enhance aquatic organism passage in our local waterways. This is the start of like the Cemetery Creek culvert and some other projects in the future possibilities. But so we can start appropriating helping some funds there for them to start putting in some fish culverts and that kind of stuff. And then, yes, as you heard, we scheduled a Board of Adjustments appeal hearings for the marijuana facility in the Swanson Square building that is being contested. And that is the 14th of October, I believe, 15th, somewhere in there. In the evening will be the start of that fun project. So that's it for now.
Thank you, Mr. Douthit.
I have a question through the chair.
Ms. Wright?
So on your survey for this wetlands, is there any potential investigation into the impact for birds?
The area that's being surveyed is not wetlands. Yeah, it's a huge encompassing area. If you look at the map, there's a gravel pit right here, there's woods here, and then there's wetlands up here. This is all city land, and we're just subdividing off a section into 4 lots to get rid of the wetlands being part of that parcel. The wetlands will remain, it's just the wooded area that borders the existing gravel pit would be able to be subdivided off for future sale. Yeah.
Okay, so still no additional public comment.
Well, no. You decided to-
This end, wait. Next meeting notification is September 25th, 2024. Is anyone planning to be absent or attending remotely? Everyone's going to be here with smiles on?
What day was that?
It was September 25th.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be here. That's the end of moose season, sorry.
Wait a minute, what day? I guess it's a Wednesday.
Wednesday, September 25th.
In September, oh, yeah, we're fine.
Sorry, that will be the last day of moose season, so I won't be here.
Okay. Commission's comments and questions. Commissioner Ersley.
Director McElroy, thank you for your dedication to PNC. Really appreciate it.
Commissioner Woodard.
Well, with the rain and all the chairs filled, I think summer's over. So Megan, thanks for the cookies.
Vice Chair Costa.
Oh, I'm tired of picking raspberries, so so about the 8th picking this year so far.
Commissioner Fikes Orthwaite.
Either one?
Either one.
I've got nothing, either of us.
Commissioner Petty.
No comments, thank you.
And Commissioner Fikes.
I wasn't able to find, what was the ruling on the Board of Adjustments for the Kenight one that we were handling? Does anybody know
That
the answer?
one, it got approved through it was upheld, basically. They added a couple more conditions to it, but ultimately they authorized it to be able to move forward. And then I believe the tribe decided to forego the offer in the end.
So it's not going to be in office then?
No.
And I will add one other thing. Obviously, today being 9/11, they did I believe Kenai Fire assisted with Central Emergency Services. They had a breakfast and brought in a lot of the retirees to kind of tell stories. And one of the things they did at the end of the event was planted flags out in front of the CS building in Soldotna. So if you're going through Soldotna, the big field that's in front of the fire station and police department, there's a field of flags, and each flag represents a fallen firefighter from 9/11. So sadly, there's lots of flags there, but it's a pretty sight. And if you see them on Facebook and stuff, there's quite a few pictures for that as well. But the event was a good event. I was able to take advantage of that. So pending items, we have none. Seeing no further business, we are adjourned.